Bridgerton Season 2 is finally here, and it has given us plenty of delicious Regency-era tales of love and betrayal. From its opening scene to its final credits, this season was a thrilling ride through the romances and contentions of London's high society. And no romance was more contentious than that of Kate and Anthony. For these two star-crossed lovers, it was a long journey from introduction to betrothing. But we were with them every step of the way. We're going to be revisiting some of that journey's most magnificent milestones in today's video. But first, a quick heads up to those of you who haven't finished the latest series yet. We will be discussing some major plot points throughout this video. Maybe you should check out one of the other videos instead of risking getting seriously vexed. Okay, let's get started. Here are our picks for the best Kate and Anthony moments of Bridgerton Season 2. The first meeting.
Whoa there!
Okay guys, so before we can start gushing over Kate and Anthony's love, we have to take a minute to talk about how the newlyweds met in the first place. In Season 2's opening episode, capital R Rake, Anthony begins his mission to find a wife. And what a better way to celebrate the beginning of such a mission than a nice morning ride through the woods. While traveling atop his trusty steed, Anthony spies a young woman riding alone. This is essentially high treason in Bridgerton's stuffy society of submission and servitude. The mysterious horsewoman pays no heed to the Viscount's call for her to halt, and even dashes over a series of hedges in a display of horse-riding prowess that would make even the rootiest, tootiest cowboy jealous. With her fearless jump complete, she looks back at Anthony, and the pair lock eyes. Here we get a brilliant shot of a thunderstruck Anthony, who appears to be entirely unable to process the audacity and beauty of the nameless heroine. Later, he discovers that the woman who so embarrassed him with her equestrian excellence was none other than Kate Sharma, one of the newest additions to London society. The Sting.
No, do not do
This is only a beat. Ow!
One of the more unorthodox plot twists of the Bridgerton series is Edmund Bridgerton's death. Edmund, the patriarch of the Bridgerton family, is stung by a bee, which results in his untimely passing. In the novels, Edmund's death is witnessed by Anthony's sister Eloise, as opposed to by the Viscount himself. In the Netflix series, however, Anthony has a front row ticket to his father's demise. This plays a pivotal role in the evolution of his relationship with Kate, when, 10 years later, she suffers a bee sting while the two are embroiled in an argument. Kate and Anthony, that is, not Kate and the bee. Traumatized by what he saw happen to his father a decade earlier, Anthony is immediately sent into a meltdown. In a clumsy panic, he asks Kate if she can breathe and ignores her assurances that she is okay. She finally manages to soothe his anxiety, and when she takes his hand and places it on her heart, which just so happens to be the spot where she was stung, this moment almost leads to the two sharing their very first kiss, but they ultimately go no further than the passionate eye contact that is so emblematic of the Bridgerton Season 2. The first kiss. Kate and Anthony's story is a classic slow burn romance. Fans were put through 8 episodes of will they or won't for the pair finally turn from foes to newlyweds. Thankfully, the writers of the series were kind enough to sprinkle in a couple of tender moments along the way. One such moment occurs in the 6th episode of the season. In The Choice, Anthony is preparing to make a Sharma woman his wife. The only problem is that the Sharma woman in question isn't Kate, but Kate's sister Edwina. We were feeling some serious anxiety throughout this episode, and when Anthony and Edwina made it as far as the altar, we were sure all hope was lost. But true love, as they say, always finds its way. And in this episode, true love finds its way in the form of a bracelet dropped by Kate during the wedding. Rather than continue with his ceremonial obligations, Anthony almost instinctively rushes to help his would-be sister-in-law retrieve her jewelry. Unsurprisingly, this causes Edwina to realize what everyone but her, Kate and Anthony already know, and that is that Kate and Anthony are desperately in love with each other, and nothing could possibly stand in the way of that. Later on in the episode, Kate and Anthony meet in the same church that the Viscount's wedding had been intended to take place in. It isn't long before the two are confronted by Edwina, who proceeds to give them a scathing, although not entirely undeserved, talking to. She then makes her exit, leaving Anthony and her sister alone once again. It's at this moment that the future husband and wife finally lock lips for the first time. You vex me.
Why is it that you dislike me so?
Because you vex me!
Anybody who's ever been in a relationship knows that sometimes couples find themselves in heated arguments. During such arguments, it's not unusual for one party to say something insulting and hurtful that they may not even mean. We see a great example of this in Victory, the 4th episode of season 2. It is in this episode that Kate comes out with one of the most iconic, and certainly most memeable, lines of the entire Bridgerton series. While embroiled in yet another shouting match with Katie, Anthony asks his future wife why she seems to dislike him so much. Through gritted teeth and clenched fists, she responds, "Because you vex me." This moment led to a major spike in Google searches for the word vex, with the viewers of the show trying to figure out if Katie had just professed her love for Anthony or hit him with yet another characteristic burn. It was unsurprisingly the latter. To vex somebody means that you have caused them great agitation or discomfort. So in this scene, Katie is basically telling Anthony that she finds him unbearably annoying. In reality, it is likely that she just feels the opposite. And this response was born out of the frustration she feels at the mounting romantic tension between her and the man who seems set to marry her sister. Also, as a side note, we have to give some props to Anthony for his overlooked but equally devastating comeback. "And what is it?" he asked Katie. "Do you think you do to me?" The dance. The Viscount Who Loved Me is the 8th and final episode of Bridgerton Season 2. Like any good season finale should, this episode takes Kate and Anthony's budding romance and turns it into a fully fledged love story. One of the most significant steps in this transformation comes when the two attend the Featherton Ball. With the gossip tongue still wagging over the scandal of Anthony and Edwina's failed wedding ceremony, the Featherton Ball attendees have their eyes firmly focused on the Viscount and Kate. The two should be on their best behavior and not do anything to rock the boat. But not rocking the boat does not really make for a good season finale. Maybe that's why Kate asks Anthony if he is going to ask her to dance, in the words, "one last time." As they traverse the dance floor to the instrumentalized strains of Miley Cyrus's Wrecking Ball, Kate and Anthony cause all the other couples to stop dancing for fear of being associated with London's most controversial couple. Nevertheless, the lovebirds continue their twirling and dipping. As far as they're concerned, in this moment, the rest of the world does not exist. There were no prying eyes, there were no backbiters. There is only them, and the dawning realization that they are meant to be together. As shocked as Featherton Ball attendees were by Kate and Anthony's brazen show of forbidden love, they are even more flabbergasted when the Queen Charlotte blesses the couple after their dance. She even goes as far to call them beautiful before commanding other couples to join them on the dance floor and resume their revelry. With their relationship approved by the Queen herself, Kate and Anthony can now finally be open about their feelings for one another. And the next time we see them, they are a happily married couple and ready to face whatever challenges Season 3 has in store. And so ends this look at Kate and Anthony's best moments from Bridgerton Season 2. But let's be honest, these two star-crossed lovers have so many fire scenes together that we couldn't possibly cover them all in a single video. Would you like us to look at other milestones in their courtship in a future video? If so, what moments would you include? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more. See you in the next one.